Okay, so I've started doing this commentary, and I've just realised that there is a bunch of birds outside my window, and they are making such a fucking racket. It's unbelievable. You know that, like, fast, high-pitched chirp that a bird can do? I'm not going to try and do an impersonation because I'm not a bird. But it's kind of like a constant tapping noise, and I've just been listening to them now for about 30 seconds. Just these two birds going at it on and on and on at each other. And then it quietened down for a second, and I thought, okay, right, I'll start the commentary now. You won't be able to hear it because the mic's not sensitive, but it's right in my fucking ear. I thought I'll start the commentary now. Just as I clicked record, I was about to start speaking. Not only did those two birds start up again, but it's like they started the whole fucking road of birds up. Honestly, I've never heard a racket in my life like that. Even, you know, sort of at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, when the sun's just starting to rise, the birds are all waking up, and all the little baby birds going, oh, I'm hungry, feed me. Even then, they're not as loud as they are now, and it's really, really off-putting. They've kind of stopped now. They must have heard me complaining. So, Black Ops, FAL, ACOG, 36-9 is how I finished. 36-9, okay, good numbers kills, but far too many deaths, you're thinking, for, you know, YouTube worthiness. God, what a camper, fucking little dickhead. Yeah, not far too many deaths for YouTube worthiness, but connection issues. This gameplay was done on a 2-bar connection up until kind of like the last third of the game, where it improved itself to a 1-bar connection. Watch this guy jump around now. That little twat. And so I got this today. Today's the 18th. Gaz had put up a video the other day, I think it was 2 days ago, 3 days ago, talking about connection and how it's not just about connection, it's how you play. But like in that case, where the guy's head completely disappeared but was still able to kill me because of the connections, it is a lot about the connection. Yes, there is a lot of truth in what he says about it's about the way you play as well. If you know you've got a bad connection, you've got to kind of sit back a bit. You can't run around. There was no way that today I was going to try tomahawking on this connection, because if you think about the amount of lag it's taking in between the bullet hits there, you say that it doesn't necessarily seem massively obvious. You'll see it a lot later on, sort of like towards the end of the video. I'll try and remember to point it out. But on a connection where a bullet is using hit scan, and it's supposed to be near enough immediate that it actually hits him, you know, suddenly having to actually throw a tomahawk, which is a real matter thing in the game, it actually has a travel time and travel distance, and you've got to gauge for leading the opponent, whatever. It's an absolute nightmare. So this is the first time I've used a gun in Black Ops since March. It was in this set of games, and I didn't get on too badly. Yes, I was reading the comments saying on his video about, you know, using something other than a Galil. I've obviously picked up the other guy's Galil to demonstrate. Gaz was using a Galil in his game. FAMASes, AUGs, AK-74Us are used to absolute death in the game, and it is incredibly boring. And it's part of the reason why I don't enjoy playing this. It's because there's no enjoyment level when all you see is people using these, you know, well, they're not even overpowered weapons, are they? Because they do exactly what they say on the tin. They kill you. It's just for some reason they seem to be able to kill far more quicker than any other gun in the game. So what's the point in using anything else in the game? And, you know, if you're not going to use any other gun in the game, because they're not as effective, why even have the other guns in the game? Just make it an absolute standard. Make every gun an M16 or a FAMAS, kind of like what they do in, you know, the competitive MLG playlists and whatever. You know, limit the gun choice from the start, because it's not fair on the people who want to try something different and have to make sacrifices. Like in this, I'm using the ACOG FAL, but fair play to that guy for doing a flamethrower as he was dying because he went into second chance, the little bastard, because he's using something different. But my point is that if I'm using a FAL, and connection is a big issue with the FAL, because you've got to look at the amount of lag there. You know, you've got to think it's a single shot. So if the person is lagging to the side or moving about that your internet's not detecting, then your one bullet is going to miss. And if it takes 3 bullet impacts with the FAL to kill someone, you're at a massive disadvantage, because there is a distinct lack of spray like there is with a FAMAS or a Galil. You know, even if you slightly miss and there's no lag, the spray is going to hit them a little bit at least. When there is lag, you know, it's still going to hit. But with a single shot weapon like the FAL, you know, you're kind of knackered. Anyway, I'm not going to complain about the FAL. I don't even know what score I'm at. I'm at something ridiculous thanks to my dogs. It's more just a case of sort of like demonstrating that on what is, like I said, a 2/1 bar connection. See, that I had time to knife before he fell to the ground, and the kill feed said that I got a FAL kill. Here's a... Hold on, what have I found about the new maps? The amount of shots that I needed to put into a second chance person before it actually gave me a hit detection. The new maps are far too campy for my liking. They really, really are. From just the experience of today, I could be wrong. I might have just been coming up against, you know, bad lobbies. But I think here's a good example of the detection. Look at that! I can't possibly have been shooting through his legs or something there. But that, and the leaderboard has also just said that I've done the 1 bar connection. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan on them, do I? Excuse me. Nearly swallowed my own face. Do I have a favourite out of the new maps? Apart from the zombie map, Call of the Dead, not really. I think my favourite map will be one that I figure out how to tomahawk on. So, that's the end of the gameplay. It was, well, I say the end, it's reloading it just because the host, who went 0-9, left the game. So it's 8.5 minutes of complete and utter lag, using a gun that is not a FAMAS, an AK-74U, a Galil or an AUG. So, there you go, enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, and I wish those birds were shut up. They started to get... Shut up, you